Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and for today, I have a very special story for you guys. Well, from one of you. That's right, welcome to the first ever subscriber-submitted story that will be featured here on this channel. Of course, I can't name the dude because, privacy and stuff. But hey, if you're listening, man, thank you. So without further ado, you better sit back, relax, hold on to your Dragon Balls, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll begin. Fiancé cheated with a stripper at her bachelorette party. I told her we are done.
Hello, PattSun. I would like to share with you and your subscriber my story. It will be long, sorry. I am a 28 male, fiancé a 27 female. Let's call us James and Susie. We were dating in college, got engaged and started living together right after graduation. We were together for nearly 5 years. Let me start with some backstory first. We had some adjustments to make when we first met, but after that our chemistry was perfect. Me and her brother, Peter, were the biggest rivals before college. I was the tight end of a private high school football team. He was the cornerback of a public high school. The grudge between our two schools was deep, and in addition, we were constantly in direct confrontation during a match. We fight tooth and nail, neither of us want to give ground. During his last season before college, we grew to respect each other. In the last game of the season, we eliminated their team in the quarterfinals. We shook hands and he wished me luck for the playoff. I wished him luck in college. We made it to the same college. He was 1 year my senior. We reconnected and started a friendship. I was invited to one of his parties right from my arrival. I was sitting on the couch with him when two beautiful girls arrived. Peter jumps on his feet and points the first one at me. Joan, this is James. He is a freshman but a hardcore good football player. I want you to meet him while he is still single. The girl looked at me like I'm some lowlife and said, yes, he is kind of cute, but I like them taller and more muscular. This one is a clown, I told myself. I was kind of pissed off. I stood and said, well, I guess 6'3" is not enough. I then took off my sweatshirt and flashed a double bicep. And I guess 228 pounds is not muscular. I put on my sweatshirt and went to grab some beer. 5 to 10 minutes later a beautiful redhead entered. I went to her to present myself. Hi, I am James. I'm a freshman and I'm trying to make the football team this year. You're on the football team, so you must know my brother, Peter. Yes, I acknowledge. He is the one that invited me. She told me her name is Susie. We talked a little and when she excused herself to the bathroom, Joan came back to talk to me. Sorry to have been a little rude, she said. It was not intentional. Can we start over? Forget about it. That's no big deal, if you can excuse me, I responded by leaving to talk to Peter and two guys from the team. Hey Peter, I met your sister, I told him. Yes, I have seen you too. Be careful, it's my little sister. Don't worry, my intentions are pure. I might marry her if she wants me. Just like that. Peter asked. Yes, just like that, I responded, if she wants me. I ended up talking to Susie during the whole party and walked her to her dorm. We exchanged phone numbers and I kissed her on the cheek. We started dating right after. I learned that Joan was a good friend of Susie. She was always hanging with us, flirting with me, joking about being the first one who had seen me, or me never giving her a chance, etc. It made me feel uncomfortable, but she was a good friend of Susie and it was hard not to have her around. About 3 months into dating we had our first fight. Susie asked me to be exclusive. What? Are you serious? I responded. Yes, we've been together for the last 3 months, she said, and it is time to take the next step. I'm out. I responded. We are done. I tried to stand but she grabbed my arm. Wait, James, if you're not ready to become exclusive I can wait. I sit back. I was visibly angry, but was able to control my speech. A relationship is always exclusive, I said. You are in a relationship or not. A non-exclusive relationship is not a relationship at all. If you asked me to be exclusive now, it means that you are not since the beginning of our dating. I was exclusive, 100% faithful to you. I totally agreed with you on relationships. You are in or out. So why did you ask me to be exclusive, if for you we were in an exclusive situation already? Do you plan to date other people in the future? No, that's not it. My friends told me that men are basically pigs and will cheat if they have the occasion, and I should get straight with you that we are exclusive. Susie, I love you. The minute we were dating, the other girls ceased to exist. There is only you. Maybe a month after that we had another fight. I was working in a restaurant on Friday night from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. and said it from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. She was complaining and wanted to go to girls' nights out and party on Friday night. I told her no, there is no going to a bar or a party without her boyfriend. She replied that nothing bad will happen, I can trust her. I replied that it's not that I don't trust her, it's the guy that will be hitting on her. You think that I cannot resist. You don't have to feel insecure about that, she added. I tried to explain, may I remind you that we met at a party. Parties and bars are the preferred places for single people to meet. You may not cheat the first time, but your friends are single. They will encounter a single male who will naturally want to hang out with a group of single females. You will find yourself talking to one of their friends that's left alone, and with time, things can escalate. Why submit yourself to the temptation? She was furious, saying that I don't own her, I don't trust her, and that is only my insecurity talking. I said, look, if you want to go, just go. But if you want to act single, you should be single. I can see that you're not ready for a serious relationship and certainly not for marriage. Good luck, have a good life. Then I left. She went after me, crying, I can't believe you're breaking up over that. Fuck you. I just keep walking without a glance back at her. Inside I was crushed. She tried to phone me and texted me, but I turned my phone off. The next day was a Friday. I went for my usual day at college and went to work after. At 11 p.m. my shift ended, and as I was leaving the restaurant, she was there waiting for me. We talked a lot, went to grab coffee and donuts, and went to my place. After being intimate, she said that she doesn't want us to have a fight again. We reconnected, talked again, and made love again. In the morning she confessed that she was out of line getting upset by my reaction, and that she didn't really want to go to the party in the first place. It was to please her friend and to show them that she is an independent woman, freed from any toxic masculinity. I responded, you know, the same applied to me. Bars are places of temptation, made for people to meet, socialize, and more. It is out of line to go to such places without my fiancé. Am I your fiancé now? She inquired. Well, my soon-to-be fiancé, I technically need to give you a ring and ask your father. After the last fight, things moved fast. I loved her, she loved me, I asked her father for her hand, we moved together. All that in our first year of college. After graduation, I continued with a master's in accounting. She went to work in a big firm in data entry. When I finished my master's, we decided to get married. We have been together for 6 years. After the initial somewhat rocky start, we were fully happy and deeply in love. My parents helped us a lot, so financially we were all right. They own a small compound where we rent our apartment. That's how we could afford it as students. Now that we have announced our wedding, my parents told us that they have put every monthly rent of our apartment in a special account for our marriage. The total amount is ours now. We can have our dream wedding without the financial trauma. We were in total shock. Tears of joy flowed from me, Susie, and my parents. I have the best parents in the world, the best fiancé, and the best life. I was really in heaven, and that was not all. My dad wanted to talk to me man to man in the morning. He said that now that I'm getting married, the compound will be mine. He did the same for my sister 2 years before and said that it is my turn now. He and my mother wanted to give us our inheritance before their death, saying that it is now that we will be more in need of the money. They informed me that there is no more inheritance after their deaths, so be careful and wise with the compound. But my father insisted that I signed a prenuptial agreement with my fiancé before the wedding. If I don't, I will receive the compound only at the death of my parents. They said that they work hard to give their children a great start in life. They cannot risk to see that wasted in a divorce settlement. Both my parents are lawyers and both are successful. They don't flash their money. My mother drives a Camry, my father a Highlander, while the others lawyers at their firm drive BMW, Audi, or Mercedes. They know the value of money but are not tied to it. They bought our family house the first year of their marriage and bought 2 apartment compounds for me and my sister over the years. I don't consider ourselves rich, but upper middle class. It was not a big deal for my fiancé. She signed the prenup with no question and no drama. She understood perfectly and believed that it was fair. We started immediately planning our wedding and honeymoon. Life was a dream. We were in heaven. The amount in my parents' marriage account was more than enough for us to afford a big wedding and a reasonable honeymoon. My fiancé's parents take charge of the bride's dress, the maiden's dresses, flowers, and wedding bands. We had our bachelor and bachelorette party 3 weeks before the wedding. We rented 2 nearby cabins by the lake, one for the boys, one for the girls. The cabins were on the same lake, but about 15 minutes apart. The rules were simple. The boys and the girls had separate parties. They are not allowed to mix. No phone, all communications only via the best man and maiden of honor phones. And no strippers, female or male. My best man was her brother Peter and the maid of honor was Peter's girlfriend. I was going to be with my friends all day, water skiing during the day, a big fancy restaurant in the evening, back at the cabin, play video games and get wasted. I didn't really know what the girls were up to. I figured it was something similar to us, with probably some shopping on top. Boy, was I wrong. Around 11:30 p.m., Peter's girlfriend come to our cabin and went to talk to him in private. We were almost wasted at the time, but her sudden return had a sobering effect on me. She was at the bachelorette party. It cannot be good that she left early. All guys at my bachelor probably came to the same conclusion at the same time. The mood of the party shifted to funeral mode. My best man Peter returned with his girlfriend, saying he is sorry and that he already transferred to me the content of the phone he was handing me. I reluctantly took his phone. It had a photo showing my fiancé with 2 naked strippers, holding their PP in each hand, and a video of her kissing one of them. There were other pictures and one video, but I have seen enough. I went to the bathroom, threw up in the bowl and cried. 20 minutes later I decided that was enough. I washed my face, got out of the room and texted everybody we know that the wedding was off, along with the photos and video of the bachelorette party. My friends were asking me if I was all right. I snapped at them. Take a guess, how do you think I feel? I apologized and said that I'm going back home. Peter said there is no way he is going to let me take a 2-hour drive at night with all the alcohol in my blood. He will drive me home. I can see that he was hurt too. He can see the deception of Susie, but he is her brother and has become my best friend over the years. He insisted on taking his car. I was in the passenger seat. His girlfriend took the back seat. Not 10 minutes after, my phone was blowing off. Mostly calls from Susie, my now ex-fiancé, but also my parents and my ex's parents. I only called back my parents and explained everything, saying that I was heading back home. They said that they will meet me there. We arrived at my apartment building at 4 a.m. My parents were waiting for me in the lobby. I fell into their arms and immediately went to my apartment and started to throw her clothes out. Wait, said my father, don't damage her things. You had to do this in the best way possible to be on better ground if later anything gets ugly. He went to the basement of the units and came with some card boxes, told us to pack her things nicely in them and take a picture of each box. He left and came back with one of his friends with a pickup truck and more boxes. In less than 2 hours we erased all the traces of my ex-fiancé. All her things were in the truck, all pictures, personal items, even food. Nothing of my ex remained in the apartment. It was 7:30 a.m. when my dad instructed his friend to drop the boxes at my ex-in-law's house. He called first to inform them of the situation. They have been talking to my ex-fiancé almost nonstop for the last 2 hours, so they knew what was going on. My ex-fiancé arrived about 30 minutes later, alone in a car. She was not drunk, but you can visibly tell she was under the influence of alcohol. I can't believe she took her car at night in that condition, but again, I was going to do the same earlier if it was not for Peter stepping in. She was crying, tried to explain herself, told me that the strippers were not supposed to be part of the bachelorette and her friend set her up. I didn't want to hear any of her excuses. For me it was only BS. At one point my dad took me outside with my best man and told us that we better find a restaurant to have breakfast and finish the discussion. Peter did not want to come with us, so he stayed with my mom, my ex, and his girlfriend in the apartment. When we returned, my ex was not there. My mom told me that her parents came to pick her up. The girlfriend of Peter explained to me what happened at the bachelorette. According to her, it was all the result of the friends of my fiancé's actions. They arranged for the strippers to be present, and were cheering to encourage the women to step out of line, especially with my fiancé, saying that it is her last time to be free, she should not hold back, those parties are made for that, etc. The bachelorette rapidly became uncontrollable. She felt uncomfortable and left. After that, my brain backpedaled and I started to relive my time with Susie. I realized that her friend Joan was always working in the shadows to sabotage our relationship. Early when we started dating, she was the one behind all our big arguments, the asking to be exclusive, the parties, the girls' night out. She always tried to hit on me, joking by saying things like she was the one that had seen me first or Susie didn't deserve someone like me. I could see now that it was always to end our relationship so she could take over. Well, she has succeeded to end us now, but she will not of me, never, not even as a friend. As for Susie, I can see that she was influenced and set up to cheat. But it was her choice to take those PP in her hand and kiss those strippers. I don't want to know if there is anything more, it hurts enough already. Most of the money spent for the wedding will not be refundable so close to the date, but we will not be getting married. There will be no reconciliation, we are done. I cannot trust her to be my wife. For the better or the worse it is supposed to be. I know that she will not support me from the worst, so it's over, period.
If this story is true, then it is further proof that single women will keep other women single. After all, misery loves company. As for you, OP, well, you did the right thing cutting things off, but next time, if you know that your partner's friend is a hoe, dude, don't wait this long. Ask her to cut off the hoe because sooner or later that friend will just sabotage your relationship. So just cut the wire now. Thank you for allowing me to feature your story, man. I really appreciate it. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.